It, we're live. We're live on YouTube. H+13, Danny Groves, 13, unlucky for some. Obviously not unlucky for me today, but here we are, unexpected as well. Mate,
Yeah.
good to see you.
Good to see you.
catch up
Good
with
to see you.
you. You brought some beers along, which was nice. Always nice. Ringwood Brewery. Do you know the brewery, yeah?
No, I just picked them up on the way here. I only live 11 minutes away, so I had some time to kill. So I thought,
There's loads of breweries out here. I came up to Warwick in I came up to Warwick like sort of permanently, semi-permanently, through the week in when was it? Like September time. Cheers, mate. Cheers. Yeah. September, October time last year, and oh, it is nice.
It's not bad. Right?
Ringwood Brewery. Take my hat off to you.
Yeah.
A berry. Yeah, September, October time. And what I didn't realise around here, it's different to like South Wales where I grew up, and Essex, obviously, when I'm based in the military, Colchester there, is you go to pubs there, and it's all lagers and a couple of ciders, and then you get like an ale, one or two ales, and it's normally Brains or something.
Yeah.
You come here, flipping heck. There's loads of ales on, but as well, everyone drinks the ale. So when I grew up, and again, Colchester, the people who drink ale are like 40, 50, 60. Well, I'm not far off 40 now. 40, 50, 60-year-olds.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone. 20-year-olds drinking ale. It's cheap. It's just fine. It's nice. So I'm like full on with it now. I must be like a West. Are we West Country here?
No, West Midlands.
What's West Country then?
West Country. That's got to be.
Is that Gloucester?
That's Cornwall. Is that not Cornwall, West Country? No?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, I think so. Is it? It's got to be. Yeah,
West Country.
Way. Yeah.
Is it that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're West. Yeah, West Midlands, definitely.
Oh, I didn't realise.
Yeah.
Well, right. We obviously know each other from. Did we? We know each other from Musa Qaleh.
Yeah.
That's where I remember back to. But do we meet up before that at any time?
No, I think
we did we?
No, we met up in Musa Qaleh. Yeah,
you were Royal Irish. When did you join the Royal Irish?
2002. It was year 2000. Actually, I think you joined
in
the year 2000 as well.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
And I never what I never understood is how many non-Irish were in the Royal Irish. What is all that about? I mean, you get. I remember going to a jock regiment, being with the jock regiment in Ireland, in Ballykelly, and the tour out there, and there was a massive company of the jock regiment with Fijians. Getting around kilts. Now you can understand that one. Yeah. But then with the Royal Irish Regiment, and you got like Manx in there, Scousers. How does that end up happening like that?
Well, I think it's just at the time the numbers were probably low within the battalion, and they were recruiting in different areas. You know, Manchester, Liverpool. Certainly, a lot of the lads who I joined up with. I mean, with I think the first intake of Fijians was in 2000 for a long time. I mean, I know they've been joining a lot of time over the years, but there was a big intake in the Royal Irish certainly around that time. Mm-hmm. The first lot, that was about 15. Mm-hmm. It was about 15, 16 of the guys. But yeah, I think that's what it was, you know. They're just recruiting different areas, people with ancestral links to Ireland, you know, join. So.
Yeah, and I suppose this goes on then, doesn't it? My dad was Royal Irish.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, God, yeah. I was thinking a couple of fleeting thoughts on where we could go with this today. And, I realised that. So, like you say, I knew you from I know you from Musa Qaleh.
Yeah.
I barely remember faces from there. You guys, it's just the way it was, and it's not.
No, it's the same for us.
And in thinking that, I really realised that I've got no idea what that tour was like from the perspective of the Royal Irish lads.
Yeah.
Got no idea. I know, but like obviously within the Scala and other places. And I know like there was a couple of two or three platoons there in Garesh when I first got there and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
I don't. From your perspective, I've got no idea. So I think for me, you hear it.
Yeah.
And we get a lot of cities listen to this. Believe it or not, right? Find it really interesting. If you don't mind, imagine you don't know me and I'm Civ Pop. Well, I am Civ Pop now.
Yeah,
Mr.
me too. Mr. Groves.
Imagine, you brief me up on that tour.
Yeah.
From your perspective, and just talk me through it, mate. Talk me through it. I mean, if you don't mind, did you do the pre-deployment training or man?
No.
What was your pre-deployment training then?
Never had none. We what happened with me? I was actually on leave. I got back from a tour of Iraq. I think it was in the March, and we actually went on leave. Ranger platoon came back early, and they already deployed with, I believe, with C Company.
Ranger platoon.
Ranger platoon. They were the lads who went out for the whole 6 months.
Right.
With 3 para.
Yeah.
And I was just sat on leave. I had a phone call. And it was my sergeant major. He just said, we need a section commander for Afghanistan to command the mortar section.
You came back in March 2006 from Iraq.
Yeah.
Went on leave.
Yeah.
And when did you get this call?
I think it was June. Yeah. So he just said, he said, do you fancy it at first? I said, of course I do, because I heard of everything what was going on, mate, there. And I think if you're a soldier, everybody wanted to be a part of it because they knew sort of what was going on. Well, probably not the full picture, but what we experienced when we got there. But prior to that, I think everybody was itching to get out. So yeah, I was back up at Inverness within a couple of days, packing along with Barossa platoon and Som platoon, who had similar calls to me to get back to battalion.
So at this point, how many Royal Irish units were in with 3 para in Afghan?
There was just one platoon supporting C Company.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Baz, is that your phone? No, your phone. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's acceptable. It's acceptable for you, but not the sound engineer.
Right. Yeah,
right. Okay.
Yeah,
so when we deployed, so 16 Brigade deployed, then it was 3 para arts and debts and supporting units and a platoon of Royal Irish.
Yeah.
And then in June, yours truly, you got a call.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
So it all happened very quickly. Then we was packed. We did a bit of training, and then we down to Bryce, and then we flew out. Stopped in Kabul for a while, and then we flew down to Helmand. And yeah, we was in Helmand in no time really. Then we were sort of waiting, wondering what was going to happen. I mean, expected it when we got there. To acclimatise, we got put onto the Sangers, just to suppose ease us into it. We did a bit of zeroing with the weapons, and I bumped into Stu Bell, who was my instructor in. He taught me in Warminster.
Mate, what a bloke!
So we hit it off straight away, and we was talk about it, and obviously he taught me how to be a mortar section commander. Yeah, so I think everything was good, and then we'd been there for I think it was about a week, and we got me and John Harding, who was the Alpha MFC, got a call to go up to the command centre, Jock, where the mortar commander, the mortar officer, and I can't remember the guy's name. Remember his name?
Mr. Musa Qaleh.
No, this was for your battalion.
Oh, the mortar officer.
It was a Scouser. I think it was a Scouser. Was it captain?
I can't remember his name.
No. Yeah, so he just said basically get your stuff together. You're going into.
Wasn't Martin? Was it Martin Hewitt? No. Anyway, go on.
No. So he just said. He told us what was happening. He said we've got the Danish. Swan. Yeah. Yeah. We've got the Danish guys in Musa Qaleh. They're stuck in there with another unit who've been stuck in there for a while, PF.
Mm-hmm.
They need, initially, the PF need to come out because they need to do what they're supposed to be doing, the MOG stuff. And we need you and Som platoon to go in, and obviously the mortars would provide the indirect fire support. Som platoon would replace the Pathfinders.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's what happened. And then I think within a few days we were on our way across the desert with all the kit ready to do the battle group operation. I think it was called Snakebite. Snakebites.
Was that Snakebite? Was it?
Yeah, to get into MQ.
Yeah. Okay.
So
he did a road move.
We did a road move across the just we went across the. It was I think it took about 8 hours.
How come? So two things that I didn't realise until this conversation that the two platoons, some of us had been called out in June. I did not know that.
Yeah.
As I suppose in terms of the reinforcements from the UK. How come the notice was so short for you to go out, and how come there was no pre-deployment training? There was no. You must have a brief. I suppose you had briefings. No, just out there.
We just had a briefing when we got to when we got to Bastion about what was going on. But I think, to be honest, my briefing was off Colonel Tootle with John Harding. You know what he's like. He comes out for a smoke and he just has a chat with you. He says, "Oh, you're the Irish lads, are you?" You know, and we were like, "Yeah." He says, "Oh, I've got something for you soon." You know, that kind of thing. So yeah. But yeah. So So we did the extraction. We did the insertion. The insertion. We replaced the PF.
Was that a battle group up for that?
Yeah,
I remember that.
It was a big battle group up.
I got a contact in that on that when we were putting you guys in there. I was on the sniper team. We were forward in the wadi, but I got a contact in the ganja field.
Yeah,
which was
no
nice,
better place.
Which was nice. I can think of worse places. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Yeah. So we I can remember there was a wadi between the green zone and the
big old wadi,
big wadi. So we had to get across that, and we came down towards the green zone. I think there was probably 18 of us on a pins car with all our gear.
A pins car?
And there was I think there was somebody on the bonnet. There was two. It was the only way we could get across.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing Colonel Tootle. He was waiting at the the front of the green zone. I think he was the furthest man forward actually at that point. Just going go.
Yeah.
And then we just drove across and there's ping everywhere.
Was that only got killed?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
That was on the it was RLC, wasn't it? Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, on top of that. Yeah. Yeah. Toots. He. Yeah.
I had to look twice. I was, and he's
like,
he
started. We were having one of our last briefs. It was like an in brief before we left the UK. No, I think this is when we were. No, we were in. We got in. We landed in Afghanistan. We were in Gureshk, where you were gearing up. He gave us like a strategic. No, not strategic. Operational sort of. This is the plan. This is general. He was just geeing us up really. He had all commanders in, and it was he had a big map. At this point there, he was brilliant. Like, he was eccentric. I mean, your typical good, notable officer. And he's only short, wasn't he? Slightly camp. And he had the map. And he's got his pointer. And he's going, the Taliban are here, and there's hoodies. No, he didn't say Taliban. There's hoodies here. There's hoodies here. And it's hoodies here. We're going to go in and mallet them here. And then we're going to mallet them here. We're going to mallet them here. And there'll be more hoodies. He referred to them as hoodies, mate. And malleting them. We were like, what the fuck? That was the first one. And then obviously it all kicked off. Got to be serious. Like, yeah. And so road move in. And that was the problem with Musa Qaleh there. Flipping heck. As we discovered later on.
Yeah.
It wasn't just drive in and drive out. But largely because of that, it was such open ground with the high ground on the west. And then, the town there. It took like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people and assets just to get anyone in there. Yeah. Anyone, anything in there,
Yeah.
I mean, that was you driving in there, yeah. God almighty.
So, because we was up on there, we actually fired with 3 para mortar platoon.
Mm-hmm.
We fired on the insurgent. I think Stu just described it, just getting out right, and he said, he said, go up there. He said, when was the last time you live fired? And I said, well, we come back from Iraq in March. We didn't do any firing there. It was probably the year before. He said, well, settle. He said, and just work with 3 paramortar platoon, respond to the MFCs, what they want, and hopefully that'll give you a little bit of, confidence. Not confidence, but a little bit of practice and that. So when you
getting your eye back in,
that's it, yeah. And I can remember looking at actually exactly what you said. Looking into Musa Qaleh, with the old binos and that, and the first thing that you see as an observer, which is pretty much what the Taliban would have saw as what we look for. You look for reference points that you can use as aiming markers, and it was the bloody great the needle, as Adam Jarrett likes to call it, the needle. It was
the monolith outside the front gate of the compound you were going into.
Exactly. There's no better marker point. I mean, who'd put a defensive position in front? I mean, it was, you know, it's far from me to criticise, but you know,
well, you can criticise your late. The thing is that it's not like that. So that was Musa Qaleh District Centre, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it's not like it was chosen by Toots to go and. Oh, I have always described it as. I think. Yeah, I've always described it as if you were doing like a war exercise and you had your commanders around, you wanted to test the knowledge of them in terms of picking a defensive position. And you hold a map up of Musa Qaleh and you say, on this map, pick the worst possible place you would ever. Where would you not get anyone out? Where would you not survive? Where would you not? And they would, every time. Yeah. If you're any else one, they would pick the district centre with the fucking monolith right outside it, which you can see from miles away. You know, you pinpoint it, and that's where you were going. I think. Oh, you laugh, mate. Don't laugh, you cry. You know what I mean?
But you know, when we was actually, you know, I mean, there's a point where we, in the ceasefire, Adam Jarrett made us do a bit of a carder with the lads, and we do teach them a bit of map reading. Sorry, teach them a bit of map reading, teach them a bit of, you know. And then at one point we got to the principles of defence.
Yeah.
And they made it. Obviously, there's the new. I can't remember it now, but yeah, you probably can. But the mnemonic.
I was going to ask you can lean back. This will move.
The mnemonic. And then one of the guys actually turned up. He just said to me,
"It's not damn con. It's not
pace.
That's not pace. It's doing principles of defence.
I can't.
Damn.
But anyway,
damn rod.
Was it depth?
It's either damn rod or ramrod, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
And we went through it anyway. He's just looking at me, and
all the Royal Irish know, and all the free power cursing us, mate.
I know. It's been 12 years since I left. You know, I've got more. You know, well, not more bloody, but I've got other things.
Depth of is it depth?
Yeah.
Depth of first. Oh,
anyway, right. So I've got this young ranger looking at me as if to say, this place we're in ticks none of these, you know, boxes whatsoever.
Yeah.
You know, and he was right. But like you said, he wasn't a position selective. It was just something that we fell into, wasn't he? It wasn't something that we were. But it wasn't a strategic decision by anyone, was it? You know, it's just something that we.
Well, the choice of the compound wasn't.
No. Yeah. So
when you got in there, what was it like? I mean, because when we got in there, you guys were already in there, but so
we'd been there 3 weeks. I mean, by the time
I think two weeks that you've been there when I came.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was.
You came
2 or 3 weeks.
Was it Barossa platoon? You came with Barossa?
No, I came. I came with the BCRs.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, with with the
No, I didn't. No, Brian came after. I came in with.
You came in with Adam Jarrett, didn't you?
Yeah. Was that with Barossa? Was it?
That was with Barossa. Yeah.
Oh God knows.
That was about. It's about. Yes, I think it was. Yeah, a couple. Well, it doesn't matter.
Yes. So when you got in there, the Danish had been there longest, didn't they?
Yeah.
And then PF got. What was it like when you got in there? What was the state of it?
It was. Well, it's not. He wasn't a British. You know, it's not. He was. I'm trying to describe it. Like actually. Well, I can't really criticise because I don't think they had the supplies to build up the sand positions. No, it wasn't. It was just
a nightmare.
Yeah, it was. There was no like sandbags around. The positions were just. There was no overhead protection. There was nothing there whatsoever.
Who do you think the numbers they had? They wouldn't have time to build it up anyway. Do you know what I mean? But I mean, what the morale when I arrived, the Danish still there and the PF had gone. The morale of the Danish seemed to be good, but then I arrived the day they were leaving. Yeah. So I don't know. What was it like when you got in there then? The Danish.
They wanted to get. I mean, they wanted to get out. They definitely wanted to get out. But I mean, there was a piece in the Evening Mail that I was really angry about, to be honest. And this gets me. This gets like it's when you talk to people that don't understand army terminology and things. And they actually said that I said that they weren't fit for. They weren't fit for deployment.
Who said you said this?
The Evening Mail said this. That the Danish were.
Where's the Evening Mail from?
The Birmingham Evening Mail. You know when they asked us to do a bit of for the Channel 4 thing, they said, "Would you mind talking to the local rag?" And they said that I said that they weren't fit for deployment. And I said, I didn't say that whatsoever. I said there wasn't doing what they was supposed to be doing, because they were a reconnaissance unit. They were supposed to be a MOG, so they were holed up in Musa Qaleh, and that's the reason that they had so many vehicles. That's the reason they had so many first aiders, so many doctors. And then when I read that, you know, I thought that's not what I said whatsoever.
They do it all the time.
Yeah,
flipping me do it. Don't worry about it. You've clarified it now.
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah, I know. And but then because we were like, you know, we're like brothers with the Danish. We were sharing stuff every day. You know, they
seem like cool guys.
They were excellent soldiers, and the weapons were absolutely outstanding.
I thought when I went in with Jared and we linked up with their snipers.
Yeah,
these guys are squared away.
Yeah,
you should always assume, rightly or wrongly, depending on the unit, you assume that if it's not the British Army or the Canadian Army or the US Army or the Australian or the New Zealand Army, then they're all shite.
No,
you do think, didn't you? You do think the Danish things squared away.
Yeah. Really good. Yeah, so that annoyed when I read that. I was like,
well, they clarify it now, mate.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
So how long were you there? So they were there with you then for 2 or 3 weeks until I came in.
Yeah.
Or I should say we came in. Yeah. And then, did you when you got across the body of that road move going into Musa Qaleh? Did the PF does it straight away? Was there any handover with the PF, or did they just do one out? Was there any opportunity?
You know, just
do one. Well, I suppose you're the Danish there for.
Yeah, I think Captain Jono had a brief chat with the PF commander, but he was literally, the things were happening so quick here. It was just like,
it's not me going to shit.
But there was I mean, this guy here. I mean, I bought you this book. Obviously, you can catch up on the 3 weeks that you missed reading that. That's what I bought it for you.
The book is
and
that was the Tigers and Taliban by Lars.
That was
Johansson.
Who's this? That was the commander of the Danish.
Nah, what, in Musa Qaleh?
Yeah.
Is it? I didn't know he did this.
That's his book. Yeah. Just look at some of the pictures in there.
When you say you brought this for me,
I bought it for, honestly.
Have you?
Yeah.
Oh mate, I didn't know this. Battle of Musa Qaleh, one of Britain's greatest.
Yeah.
I did not know he did this, mate.
Yeah,
what was he like? What was he like?
Oh, he's a great guy. Absolutely, he's so fun. They're all really, like, you know, that typical Scandinavian type sense of humour. You know,
they've all got cool names.
Yeah.
Lars Ulslev Johansson.
It's not as good as Hugh here.
Mate, thank you for that, buddy. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. I might read that and do a giveaway. Yeah. Like, sorry. So go on. You were saying.
Yeah. So where was you up to?
I was on about handover with the PF. So in out, PF gone. Danish to the Danish shares.
Yeah, and they just said. To be honest, when we were in there, we bedded in the mortars pretty much straight away because the compound was under contact. So Lars was pretty much this is where we're putting you, but it wasn't a typical.
Were you under their command?
Yeah, we was, because we were making up we were making up a platoon for them. Obviously, there were more of us than what there were at the Pathfinders, so the numbers rose.
How many Danish were there?
I can't remember off the top of my head. I think there must have been about, if some had 40, 10 of us, there got to have been about 100 of them.
That many?
Yeah.
Really?
It was definitely there.
Flipping heck.
Yeah.
I didn't realise that.
Yeah, there was loads of them.
Jesus, where was they all keeping?
Everywhere. But they left us all their beds, so that was a good thing. But yeah, the weaponry was just unbelievable. Every position had a 50 cal on every position.
I remember wagons up everywhere. I remember their wagons up against the wall. Did they have Hummers? Did they? They're called Eagles. I think they're called Eagles, but they were similar to Hummers. Yeah. And they made ramps, rose them up over the walls. So if you look at the amount of Sangha positions we had when we were Easy Company, you could probably add another 4 onto that, because they occupied. You know where you had the Sangha there by the it used to be the medical. Well, it was the medical centre, wasn't it? And you had on the corner,
a Sangha position on the corner
by the mosque.
Yeah, they had another one up on that corner by the mosque.
I know. Yeah, there was a man. I know what you're on about.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, so no, there was no Sangha there. Was it? It was just a corner?
But that was the wall where a certain sergeant major should not be named. That is. Well, you got the section over.
Yeah.
Through the.
He was testing out the Danish grenades.
He was testing out the phosphorus grenades. So
I think we'll leave that one.
No, I will describe it. it.
Yeah.
Testing out the phosphorus grenades in a section, and at the same time as we were in the contact.
Yeah.
And it was we needed to illuminate an enemy position, and I remember watching from a distance. They all pull the pins and the grenades at the same time. They throw these grenades over the wall, mate. Literally get all the others because you hear the enemy doesn't have the fucking wall, right? So they chuck the grenade, and like you're saying, there was no sang in that position. They chuck the grenades over the wall, and one of the phosphorus gets stuck in the tree. Did you know about this?
I was on the mortar line firing when I couldn't see.
This is a classic. Right? So you got 6 blokes with phosphorus grenades. The wall's what 6 foot? No, 8 foot high. Was it 8, 9 foot? So they all put the grenades, and the sergeant major should not. He was like, I can't remember what the words come out. They fucking chuck him. So you all chuck up at the same time. One of the phosphorus grenades goes up. Obviously, the lever flies off. There's a tree above the wall, mate. The grenade got stuck in the tree, like 2 meters above. All the 6 blokes who go, "Oh, the fucking hell!" Lecking it, mate. There's phos flying everywhere. That would have been a nightmare. It was I say it's a classic. It's not classic. We've not happened before, but yeah. Phosphorus stuck in the tree. Shat his pants. Do you remember? There was when we used to get a contact up there, and if it was like dusk or dawn, when the light was low and you could see the tracer better. Yeah. Especially on the odd occasion you get like an attack at night when they attack at night. I remember there was an Afghan national because it was AMP. Was it AMP or ANA now? Afghan Army or Afghan Police?
There was AMP. Well,
Afghan Police, wasn't it?
When we first went in there was Afghan Army, but they weren't very good. And Lars sort of arranged for them to leave at the same time when the Danish went. And luckily, Adam brought in a load of guys in with him who weren't local to the region and stuff. So yeah, so it was AMP that we had. Right, it was easy company.
There was a one of the policemen, the Afghan policemen. I always knew if there's a big contact on, I knew if I glanced round. Because they would fire. They would just fire anything. They would just fire for any reason. Like contact ground, they just fire. They wouldn't even look at the fucking sights and fire. But I always knew where in the compound he was, which side he was on. Because he had a bent barrel on his AK. It was like a fucking banana, right? So you'd fire and you'd know which one because they'd be firing. You see the green tracer going down, but there would be one weapon which just has sparks flying everywhere. Sparks flying everywhere in the barrel. Just firing a weapon with a bent barrel. Classic. Yeah. How did we get onto that? Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, we were on the Danish in that position. Yeah, they have all the wagons. I remember when I came in, they had all the wagons up there. The wagons up there. I didn't realise it that many people. So then, what was your first when you got into the compound? So was your first contact in Afghan was when you're on that. Was that on the mortar line outside it when you were inserting? So when you say Stu Bell got you on the mortar line to get your eye in on the insertion? Yeah. So did you have your mortar line set up during the battle group up and then close it down to go in with the wagons? Yeah.
So we had to. So we were obviously the mortars at the time had pins cars. So we had 2, and then the 3-para had 2. So we had 4 barrels firing, 2 under me and 2 under the 3-para section commander. The 3-para section commander carried on firing. We loaded up our gear and then we went down and met with some platoon who'd been helicoptered in. Right. Yeah. So and then we all loaded onto the wagons together. All of the Somme lads, all of the mortar guys. So imagine it's a platoon of infantry plus a section, all on the 2 pins carriers to get across. Oh my god! Yeah, it wasn't the best with base plates, gear, all the rest of it.
Barrels don't call them tubes, do you?
No, barrels. Yeah.
Told off that.
Yeah. So dropped off at the bottom of the where Adam met the Taliban. Dropped off at that point.
Months later.
Yeah. Sorry, we haven't got to that point, have you? And they actually were fired and manoeuvred into the compound, and we drove because we had all the heavy gear and everything set up straight away. And they all got in. Luckily enough, everybody got in. Apart from, luckily for us, but not obviously not luckily for Private Cuts, who was RLC.
I
going
think
back across
he got
the
shot on coming out. I think he took you guys in. It was coming across. It was a stray shot. It was random because there was me and 3 others, and we had pushed right forward to the edge of the wadi in the green. We were covert, so. And then I pushed him up to the green zone. I think the green zone. What the fuck am I talking about? Through the green, the greenery, right on the edge, further up north. There'd been a couple of contacts, or we'd been engaged, there'd been units engaged from further up north in the wadi. But it was like single shot, dragon over, something like that. Nothing accurate, but it was something of that nature. And you could see right across, and mate, there's so many firing positions.
Yeah.
So many firing, like so many potential firing positions. You just look across that. I don't know if you must remember.
Yeah.
You look at it. I remember looking across, and so we're there. We're the only snipers there, and we and your job is to spot things and stop it happening, or spot things when it's happening and take it out. But it's like looking at the fucking Manhattan skyline. The Manhattan skyline. Do you know what I mean? All those windows and all those buildings. Obviously not high rise. But that it's just huge. What the fuck? And that's not just to say it's difficult for like being a sniper.
Yeah.
Any of you out there, if you're like a soldier, a rifleman, a commander, a ranger, anything like that, you get an engagement. The hardest part of that contact is finding where they are. That's in some of them, obviously others they're fucking blatant. It's finding where they are. Like that contact in the ganja field when we were extracting from that. We got you in the community when we were extracting. They were blatant. You could see them. They were up and about. They were morons. Must have been the new guys. Like, they didn't last very long.
No.
Right. So Mortar, I said, I'll close it down and get across. So like all on the pins goers. You call them pins cars, aren't you?
Pins goers, were they?
We call them pins goers.
Pins goers.
That's the name on the site. Pins goer. I think it's like a unit, like different. You know, it's like you call. What do you call
pins?
What do you call the RSM?
The Rasma.
Oh, gee, yeah.
Right, well, we got that off you. We never used to call him before.
What was it before?
It was 2006.
What was it before then?
Don't know.
I
Dick.
G-Man. The G-Man. Is it not the G-Man?
No,
guards call him the G-Man?
I don't know.
I've wrote Scott's guard. We call him the G-Man. The Razza. Yeah. So go on. You got fucking hell. Digressing.
Was it Hardy? Wasn't it? Who was?
John Hardy. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember we had a couple of cans with the mortar section before we went.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And he said, "Don't you?"
That's a fair point.
Yeah. But so we got into Musa Qaleh set up.
That's what I was asking you. I am going to interrupt. I am not going to apologise. So your first contact was when you're outside of it on the mortar line. What was the first contact when you were inside the compound? Describe that to me.
As soon as we got in, really, pretty much. We came through. Lars was waiting for us, and he took us straight over to where he said, "Look, this is going to be your mortar line." And we looked. Me and John Harding, who was Alpha MFC. It wasn't just me who was in charge of the mortars. John was there with me as well, and we were equally responsible for the mortar section.
Alpha MFC being, just describe it. What the
Alpha MFC is the Mortar Fire Controller. Yeah. So he would be up in the highest position, similar to a sniper.
I thought a Bravo does that.
If it's an advance to contact, yes. But if it's a defensive position, there's very little point in him being with the officer in charge.
Oh yeah.
He's more useful up as another set of eyes calling in fire missions.
Right. So for Civ Pot's benefit, and correct me if I'm wrong, because I know Mortarman, the advanced contact is when you're going forward for an attack, so you're on an offensive operation. I mean, imagine you're patrolling towards the enemy. Until you advance into contact with a firefight, so you advance, walk in, or whatever, however you're going, until you get into a contact. And then the mortar, so you get a Mortar Fire Controller Alpha, so
Yeah.
MFC Alpha, and a Mortar Fire Controller Bravo, MFC Bravo. The Alpha is the most senior person on the mortar team.
Yeah.
On the team, not the platoon. And
Yeah.
then the Bravo is like next down. So as I understood it, the Bravo will be the forward guy. So the Bravo will be the eyes on the enemy, and he goes back on the radio to the Alpha and go, I fucking need the radio, I need this. And the Alpha controls the mortar line. But you're saying
no, the mortar section commander controls the mortar line. The
Which is the Alpha.
The Alpha MFC. No, the mortar section commander is separate to Alpha MFC. Alpha MFC.
Who's the most senior out of those three? Section commander.
They're both equal rank.
Alpha and the section commander.
Alpha and the section commander. Yeah. So it's the mortar section commander, obviously in its name, is responsible for the section.
Yeah.
The Alpha MFC he advises the company commander on what to do at certain certain points of the battle. So if he can work with the FST, I mean the way it worked in Musa Qaleh, there was an FST team, wasn't there? So John was coordinating constantly with people like Ray and the other the other FOOs. So if there were certain rates of artillery going in, the Ray would be talking to John to say, if there was air cover, we need to stop the mortar fire because we're going to have air up. Obviously, you can't risk collisions and stuff. So that was so. I mean, going back to what you were saying about the going into Musa Qaleh, John and Rab were straight up onto the Alamo pretty much straight away. We were bedding in the mortars and we were firing within, probably half an hour of getting into Musa Qaleh. And you were like, I mean, if you look at, if you compare it to anything else that you've done in your career, it was like, I don't know. He was more like he was like your whole career. It was just within the space of 6 hours. You'd done more than what you'd done in anything previously, and it was just like that for days and days and days.
And in that 6 hours, you're pretty much adopting. You're pretty much in some situations everything you were taught. An element of everything you were taught in depot, and everything you were taught by your section commanders and your 2 ICs, and everything is an element of it all in that first 6 hours out of 24 hours. I remember saying that it begged belief. I mean, I'm chuckling when you're saying like you go in there with half hour, and like people may think, half hour's fucking wild. It's not when you got a mortar fucking line set.
No. I mean? Well, to be honest, it was one of the most difficult mortar lines we've ever set up as well, because conventional mortar line, if you're out in the field, you've got 40 meters between each mortar, and you have one back, one forward, one back. If it's 3,
like a triangle.
What this you give us 10 meters to work with. So you look at, you put your aiming post out. I mean, I can't remember the distance. I think it's 30 meters.
Yeah, I know. It's not
ideally, I think it's 30 meters. Yeah, and that gives you your optimal sort of where you want it to be. But no, we had ours sort of 5 meters to the front because we couldn't go any further because the Danish convoy
limits how accurate it can be.
Exactly. So what you were saying about everything that you were taught to get over these things that are out of the ordinary. And you think to yourself, I'm never going to use that. It's always going to be. I'm always going to be in the field. I'm always going to be this. And there's various different calculations that you have to do to make sure that it all ties in. And so it tested us in every way as more men. It's not just straightforward as putting a barrel down a tube, as what I think some people think it
Did
was.
You say tube?
No, but that's the people who barrel down the tube for mortarmen. Sorry, right. Is that me? It's old thumper. Sorry, a round down the tube. It is a lot.
No, it's fucking complex. I'm trying to think. I had some 4As, Priest, he was a good friend of mine, and I think all decent, good guys. I had some 4A, some experience with it. I think we did some card and I did some stuff in the mortar line. Fucking hell, mate. It's a different fucking world, really complex. It's not, like you said, it's not as simple. But going back, that's why I was chuckling when you were saying, when the first half hour bang, it's like that to me, that to me was the baptism of Musa Qaleh.
Yeah.
Everyone who came in within 5 minutes, I mean, there was probably a concert going on with you 5 minutes being in there.
Yeah.
It just took you half an hour to get the line up and you engage it.
Yeah.
Everyone who came in, it was straight away, you go straight into it. And Jared and I rocked up. It's like, I dropped my burger in the room and the fucking whole place erupted. We looked at me, we just bombed straight out, got out, up onto the roof, started engaging, and we came back in and went, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Not that we hadn't been in the contact before, but you having it within 30 seconds of being there, that's done frequent shit going on, and the intensity of it. But going back, saying that everything you were taught and didn't think you were ever going to use up to that point, up to that 2006 point, because even with Iraq, right, those kind of contacts didn't go on. Did not go on.
No.
Ireland didn't go on. Not in. I'm on about 21st century now, right? So definitely for our era, 2000. You and I got into 2000. We had 5 years of 6 years of nothing. Serving with Lance Jack, section commanders, platoon sergeants, colourmen, who had 10 years, 15 years before us of nothing. So you got taught your basic stuff in depot, your war skills in depot, and then every so often, periodically in battalion, when you got the U unit, you would revisit those, and your ambush drills and your section attack, your platoon attack, and all that nitty gritty. But you revisit it as a matter of, we have to do this because just in case, you're part of periodic tests, the mats as they got a call at the end. But then what you were actually doing in the operations up to that point of Afghan was, Ireland, you were just fucking patrolling around with electronic countermeasures fucking your back, no contacts going on, completely different style of operating to normal conventional warfare. Iraq was the same, completely different style of operating, with some exceptions. Completely different style of operating, electronic countermeasures, not conventional warfare. All of a sudden, you get to Afghan, like you're saying, you get on the ground, and within the first fucking 5 minutes hit the compound, everything you taught in depot, you go, holy fuck, all get back in chair. When we came back from that tour, I don't know I think you guys were involved with this. It was the first tour where afterwards the next guy's going out, the third guy's going out, because obviously we came back as well in the theatre. The next operational training, so pre-deployment training for the next unit going out. It was the first tour where the operational training and advisory group, OPTAG, who are the guys that, for benefit of listeners and watchers, they're the people that prepare units to go on to an operation. It was the first tour that they turned and said, we're going to take on temporary instructors, guest instructors from a unit that's just come back from Afghan to come and guest instruct. So there will be a team of permanent instructors on OPTAG to teach the next unit going out the juzzle skills, and we'll have guest instructors from the units come back with experience and knowledge up to date. That's the first tour we did it, and I said the unit we were dealing with, but I went down as one of the guest instructors. 4 of those with me, and one of the sniper went down from the sniper perspective, and from just a commander's perspective, section and platoon commanders, platoon sergeant's perspective. And the hardest thing we had to do, the hardest thing we found was drilling into these guys who, bear in mind, we now at this point, you and I had done 6-7 months of fucking epicness. At that point, bear in mind, no one else had done that. It's like, fucking hell, this is, you couldn't describe it. And when you were talking, like when we found an OPTAG, when we were describing, they were saying, well, look, you can't do the way you just did that exercise, fellas. If you do that in Afghan, guess what? After you're fucking dead, because you're doing it the way you just gone through it. Your mats training period, the last 6 years, not since you trained. You're just not doing it properly. You're going through the motions. If you do that drill, whatever drill it was, like an Afghan, you will not fucking survive. Depending on who you're talking to. But we were told before we went into it not to
hold back.
No, not to scare the guys. No, the opposite. Not the opposite. Because what had happened is the media got all of what was going on when we came back. And there was the units that were due to go out there were experiencing some cases of troops who are less than motivated to go out, should we say?
Yeah.
They're fucking shit in their pants. And
Yeah.
bear in mind, the media were blown out of not well, they weren't blown out of proportion. The media were fucking reporting it and probably over dramatizing things in some cases, right?
Yeah.
And they were going, holy, you know, you can imagine a new bloke fucking with the wrong attitude, with the wrong commander. Fucking, you had a nightmare like for 6 months, and you go, I'm going to get fucking killed. Like that. So, the hardest thing we had, fucking hell, going back, the hardest thing we found was impressing other guys. All that stuff you got taught. If you're a sergeant major, 15 years ago, you got taught this. Your basic wartime scenario drills and skills that your fucking EPA you got rid of since then. You now need to drag it back up.
Yeah.
You're going to use it. You're going to fucking use it. No, it's not described as a war. It's a conflict. You know, we're there now, but you're going to be in contacts where you got to bring it back. And when we were describing some of the contacts and giving an example, look, you can't do that because when I was out there 4 months ago or 3 months ago, and this happened, they would think you were talking shit because the contact you were describing was so fantastical to them.
Yeah.
Listen, the enemy's going to be 10 meters away. Trust me, you're going to be throwing grenades over the fucking wall. Trust me. So if you set up your sangers like this, so you set up defensive, you're going to get ass fucked. Pardon the expression. You know what I mean? But because they haven't experienced it, and it was only the one unit in their eyes that had been out and done it, which in their eyes was Power Edge. Well, fucking Power saying this, fucking Power's, and it's hey mate, we bring that. We,
I understand.
We bring that attitude on ourselves, right? Because you can see it, you know, and whatever.
Yeah.
But the nightmare was you need to get it all on board. Go back to basics. Get the unit back, but you have to do it. Don't cuff it because you're gonna get killed. And they wouldn't take it on. They wouldn't take it on board. It's really, really, really difficult. As time went on, they did because there was more and more units come back and going, "This is the case." I'm sure you found the same thing, mate. People didn't. People think you fucking.
To be honest, it got quite frustrating for me. I mean, I left in the end not long after that tour, because it was very frustrating for me because people just wouldn't listen. In you know,
when you were in,
when I was in, and you know, to be fair, if, not just me, you know, John, Rab. If people have done it a certain way and they've come through that, then you'd give them the time of day, wouldn't you? But no, there's nothing like that.
Are you on about above or below?
Above, really. The blow was good, but yeah, just a bit frustrating. But yeah, and then I mean, I said it on the documentary. We were doing stuff with mortars that I don't think had been done before. In that, not explaining to you about the size of the mortar line, the way the aiming posts were positioned, the confines of the compound, all the other restrictions that were placed upon us.
You were finding mega close as well, weren't you? Some occasion where you bring
I mean, to be honest, some of the things John would send me grids, and I've got 110% confidence in John because he taught me how to do everything.
John the Bravo, the Alpha.
John was the Alpha.
Yeah.
And he'd send me grids, and you'd punch it into the file control application, which would spit out the
I remember that. Yeah.
Little computer. It spit out the information to issue to the lads about their elevation and the bearing that they should be firing at. And it also gives you a distance to target. And a lot of the time you look at it and you think to yourself, "No, shoot, honestly, I was like."
I remember
because it's on my head. It's on my head, you know.
Yeah.
But there were some times where the Sangha was just under that much contact, and we were at that point of the battle where we were waiting for air support because air support wasn't always on us straight away. No. So we were that bridge, weren't we? Between we'd get check fired as soon as the patches or the planes were on the horizon. But up until that point, the grids that it was spitting out, the distances, I was pulling my hair out. I was almost issuing it to the lads and then running out into the open to get out on one knee to look up at the one round initially, obviously, because you want to know that it's on target. And as soon as that one's hit, then you're happy to fire the following 5, aren't you? But yeah, it was, and that was every day, wasn't it? I mean, same for you, same for us. And it was by the end of it, you just, Jared said, your knees, you're actually at that point because you don't want to bring, you want to support the troops, obviously, but you don't want to be the one that brings a round down inside the compound, So
yeah.
But
I
we-
wasn't laughing because
think
it's like, well,
initially-
I'm laughing because I remember it. As you talk me
Mm.
through it, like
Yeah.
I mean, you forget. I you forget so much of it, and I know what you do remember. What I do remember is like fucking wrong. Everyone gets it,
Yeah.
you know, like wrong in like in the terms of sequence. But I remember, mate. I fucking remember. I remember how close the rounds come in. But you got to think back at that point.
Yeah.
He didn't even question it. Obviously, when I say question it, you obviously like you say, you fucking go through and just double check and shit, you know, because that is coming in fucking close. You know, when the mortar's like,
well, until it's a pre-recorded fire target, you and you're happy, you're confident with that grid. I mean, I've got them all here right now.
Is that what have you brought in your diary?
That's the diary. Yeah, so I mean, there's all the pre-recorded targets from Musa Qaleh. So you know that until we'd fired it, I wasn't.
What's time of
flights and and stuff. So
12 seconds. That's not a lot of time. Mate.
There's a letter off Stu Bell before he went on leave. Good bloke. He says,
has some of it been
lost, read it? Yeah.
Off? Yeah, read it. So yeah, go on, read the letter to Stu Bell, mate.
Yeah, it says, Royal Irish Mortars, you're doing a good job. Keep it up. Don't know when you're coming out, but still will let you know. I can remember laughing at the time when I read it as well. But I'll let you know as soon as I can. I'm going on leave now, just to rub it in. Sergeant Des Larkin will be talking to you on the net and let him know if you need anything and have a smoke on me. Keep your heads down, lads. Stu Bell. There's the cigar.
He's in cigars. He's such a mega bloke.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Fucking hell. And they just do you remember like go on.
Remember the
the mural. Yeah, all the guys. The mortars coming close. I remember having a A10. The A10. I call it the A10 from there. A10 from there. The A10 Thundercat, Thunderbolt.
No,
Thundercat.
Warthog.
Well, I'm going to call it the Thundercat. I'm going to call it the Thundercat, right?
Yeah, the Warthog.
No, it was Warthog, not the call sign.
No, A10 was the.
I know.
A10 was
Warthog was the call sign, mate.
You sure?
Yeah. Anyway, the A10 coming in.
The tank busters, weren't they? I can't remember.
Yeah, the A10 coming in, and the Raven, yeah. And then the A10 coming in, and I know it was coming in, and Ray going, we knew where we were going. We could see, like, we knew because he called it in. We were on the outpost, and Ray came on and said, and for an A10, it's like 150 meters. Like, is the closest.
Yeah.
You should by the book bring any rounds in, and this thing was like fucking 40 meters, mate.
Yeah.
it was mental. It was mental.
Ray was fantastic.
He was good. Yeah, he was good. He was, right.
You just know, he's just the way he was as well. He wasn't just his ability as a, what he was an FAC.
No, JTAC.
Yeah, well, same thing, isn't it?
No,
forward air control JTAC, same thing. Yeah,
no.
But he was good. He was fantastic anyway, wasn't he? But just the way he's the way he was as well. He's dead relaxed about everything, was he? Yeah. So, yeah. Is he JTAC?
No, you don't.
Oh no, we got together, didn't we?
Oh, what were you asking me? If JTAC's and FAC is the same?
Yeah.
No, well, it's definitely a rank difference. They can't be the same.
I don't know.
They can't be the same because they've got different letters. FAC is forward air controller. JTAC's joint tactical air controller. So, no, I don't know. No, they can't be the same.
I don't know. I can't remember.
They're probably.
I was just throwing bombs down the tubes.
Yeah, right, mate. So how many guys in the mortar line then? How many guys did you bring in the mortar line?
There was 3 per detachment, so there was 6, and then there was me, and an ACPO, so there's 8.
Did you have was it Danish ammo different to your ammo? Our ammo, your ammo. Because I remember
we had some US mortar. We had US mortar bombs, which they'd airburst on them. You could use them as an airburst.
Was that just a case of turning the thing on the top?
Yeah. I know the Danish left us a load. When they went, they left us a load of these their grenades. They were like, I think they were like 6 times more powerful than the British ones.
And there was flashbang. Man, I had all sorts of shit. I remember getting off the. We came back from Musa Qaleh. We got picked up with the Chinooks, didn't we? In the obviously that fucking extraction. We got picked up with the Chinooks in the dashed, and then we came into Bastion. Do you remember being on the pan and then we get this to empty on? We had to get rid of all our ammo.
Yeah.
So we got off the pan. Fucking 2 weeks after everyone was leaving the UK.
Yeah.
We're wasting the and they go like, get empty your holy ammo, and he was like. Have you ever seen? Is the film Desperado? Is it the film Desperado? He has to empty his pockets, and then he's got 20 weapons. I remember emptying out my kit, and I had fucking all stuff I didn't recognise. Kind of like pouches, like it was grenades mainly, all fucking random grenades, kind of ammo coming out of your ears.
All on the deck,
on the deck, and there's the RAF looking at there, going, "What the fucking hell is going on?" Yeah, like that was fucking crazy. That was crazy. Yeah. Sorry, how many of you were there on the Mortar line?
Yeah, there's 8 of us. There was 8 of us. Yeah.
Just 8.
So No, the whole section. Obviously, you've got the Bravo Embassy, the Alpha Embassy. There was 2, and then there was there was 8 of us. So there was 10 in total as part of the Mortar elements, shall we say, in Musa Qaleh. Yeah. So, well, yeah, I'm still in touch with the guys now.
Did you know? I can't remember if I knew or not. We got. Oh, my headphones falling off.
Yeah.
We got all the way through that, and then I remember the morning of. I remember, we were fucking thinking, when the fuck are we getting out of here? I remember getting to a point. We'd been there for months, so you've been there 6 weeks, 7 weeks, and they're going, right, fellas, staying another month.
Yeah.
What? You fucking joking? No, hardly any ammunition.
Yeah.
Hardly any food. We weren't too bad for water, were we? We weren't too bad for water. Medical supplies were low. Fucking people were running low.
Yeah. Well, that's it. I think he just got to a point, didn't he? With and that was quite soon after we started to lose the lads, wasn't it? When just after that.
I don't know, because I remember I don't remember all of like the main deaths and casualties being all in one sort of slot. I again, it's my knowledge. I just remember being punctuating sort of regular intervals. Gone. But did you know that how we were going to get extracted? I don't recall knowing. I think I might have known like an hour before these trucks rocked into camp that the Taliban were going to assist us extracting.
Was you in on the OC's O group every night?
Yes. Oh, yes. I'm sure I was.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, I would have been, yeah.
It's because actually, I don't think he told us until the day before.
We were
all just like...
The old group was in the ops room, wasn't it?
No, he was outside on the 3-piece suites.
Ah, yes, I was.
It was all shut up.
Yeah,
it was all shut up.
That's right, yeah.
But
I don't think I knew.
Because we was all looking at you to say, is this no, I don't think this is going to happen this way. And then we went back, and I actually deliberately never told the Mortar section, because there'd been that many times where I'd gone back and I'd said, "It looks like we're getting out of here," and then it changed, I got to the point where they just didn't believe me, and they just were looking at me to say, "Well, just tell us." And they actually did say, just tell us if it's something that's for sure this time. But every commander goes back and you do a briefing. You have to pass on,
because you have to have the belief in it and tell them
exactly.
So you've got to be committed.
Yeah, and I never told them about the jingly truck extraction. But obviously they got talking to the lads at some platoon, and they came back and said, "No, Danny, what's all this going on about the trucks?" And I said,
"This was the night before.
This was. I don't think it was the night.
It wasn't. It was the morning, mate. It was the morning.
No, it wasn't, because the trucks came in the night before and they were checked for IEDs.
They came in early hours.
No, it was definitely the day before.
Really?
Yeah, definitely the day before.
That. My memory, mate.
It was part of the. It was part of the operation. He said that they're going to bring them in. We're going to check them mechanically. We're going to check them for anything nasty. And then the day after, I think that was the day we were running around, tidying up the camp, leaving it in the state that we found it. All that
ripping down the sangers.
Yeah,
yeah,
that great British stuff that we do. Yeah, I know. Yeah. So, but I still couldn't believe it when we were getting on the trucks. To be honest, could you?
Mate, I mean,
Don't get me wrong.
yes,
I'd have done anything at that point to get
absolutely.
out of there. I'd have,
Yes, I believed at the time. I didn't even question it, and I didn't even question it for years after. I didn't, and then I sort of put out my mind, not like do that. It's just because one of the reasons was we got in a bastion. I don't remember this either. We got told you will not talk, you will not speak. We all got together. You will not speak. That this did not. You did not get extracted by the Taliban. The Taliban did not have to come out. And extract a British forces unit from Afghanistan. You will not talk. That's basically what we're saying. Although we were told outright, you will not talk about it. And then so it's, again, it's just one of the things. You want to option do things. It's just one of the second things that happen. That's how I treat it.
Move on to the next.
One of those things, fellas. And then I didn't. I mean, even I didn't speak at it really. And I mean, within 3 Para, there was a lot of people didn't know about it there. It's just one of those things that you didn't really speak about it, just because you everything conversation or whatever. And then I saw it on a Wikipedia page in 2009. I remember seeing it. Like, fucking cat's out the bag. Well, that's that then.
Yeah.
And then after we did documentary, it's only after we did the documentary Here is a Helmand. That I thought, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Fucking hell! This is the kind of stuff you hear about in the fucking good old days.
To be honest, Patrick Bishop was after that when I left the army in 2007.
He's after
2006. Yeah, but not he just wanted information to write the book. 3 Para. I think Freddie had probably pointed him in my direction.
Yeah.
So he more or less tipped me off that something would happen 10 years after the event.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sure enough, about a year before I got the call off the guy from the Bristol channel for
Long.
Dave Long.
Dave Long.
Yeah. And he came up and I picked him up from Birmingham International Train
Producer.
Station. Yeah. He got found me on LinkedIn, I think. And my boss at the time passed on my number without asking me. And obviously he's on your friends. So I said, all right, mate, I'll give you a call. I'll check you out first, make sure you say you are, and I'll give you a ring back. And I think the first person I spoke to was Violet, Paul's mum.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, this is what they're planning to do. Have you got a problem with it? And she'd have said no at the time. Well, I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have done anything with it, But I was sort of the opinion they were going to do it anyway. Do you know what I mean? They were going to do it, and I was sort of the opinion if they're going to do it, then I want it to be done in the right way, and and the stories to be told correctly and it to be accurate. Because you see these so many things on TV that aren't accurate, and they're not accurate being a military man.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want our story to be told in that way.
Mm-hmm.
So I more or less said to him, if you can get, I think I mentioned your name, Adam, Freddie, a few of you. I said, if you can get these guys to commit to it, and then come back, and then I'll speak to Violet, get her blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Then I'll consider doing it. And I think that's where it all sort of started from, really. The phone calls were made, and I think I've only watched it once though. Have you watched it?
Yeah, I watched it once. I'll watch it again.
Yeah,
I find it difficult, mate.
I watched it once, and
same as the books.
Yeah,
I've read.
I've read Adam's book once.
I flicked through to see what my name was to see what
and
they
then,
said about it. Like it's Jazz. Jazz. Like I do that.
Yeah.
But do you know what it is? It's I'll go back to everyone remembers things differently.
Yeah.
I don't want to read through. Actually, there's a couple of things spotted in Alice, but that's fucking
There's
little things, tiny little things, nothing major. But I will say, in fact, I'm talking rubbish. I'm talking rubbish here. Like, so I haven't read 3 Para. This is War, the one about that tour. I haven't read
Patrick.
I haven't read Toots and a couple. I haven't read any of them. For that reason, I don't want to go through them. Then Adam Jones' book, No Way Out, right?
Yeah.
Adam's going to come on as well at some point.
Yeah.
The one about Musa Qaleh. So obviously, for people listening, watching, who don't know who Adam is, he was the officer in command of Easy Company, who obviously down in our part of. They got the siege of Musa Qaleh, as they call it. and the documentary being referring to the Hero of the Helmand was on Channel 4. You can get it on the Channel 4 app, can't you?
Yeah.
Right. So Adam's book. There's a military historian. There's a friend of mine called Max Arthur.
Yeah.
And I think he's like the most successful British military historian to date. He just, he did the latest Churchill book, just fucking everything. Awesome guy, super nice guy. Talked the highlights of a donkey. I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. Lives down in London, and he rang me and he said, I don't get calls from him often. And he said, again, this is about Adam's book. He said, have you read the book? I said, mate, I don't read them.
Yeah.
He said, I said, I've read a couple of bits where my name's in, just to see what's been said.
Yeah.
So I said, what do you think? I said, well, it seemed good. And that's honest. I thought, this isn't being written in the style I was expecting from Adam. I thought this seems like it's really well written. That's as far as I went because I didn't want to bring myself to read it. And Max went at 10 minutes trying to convince me to read it. He said, I think have a read of it.
Yeah.
I was like, nah. I just played it. Yeah, whatever. And I had a copy of the book from the book launch.
Yeah.
And I got into bed at night at 10 o'clock, mate. And I got the book. And I thought, let's give it a bash. And I opened the first page. And I started reading. And again, the way Adam's written it, and bearing in mind, like I was there, you were there, I became immersed. 1 a.m. I was still reading it. I got about 3/4 through that book in a 1 hour. I couldn't stop reading it. It was brilliant. And like I said, tiny little things where people's memory is different, remember a different way. And I mean tiny little things.
I think that's
brilliant read. Brilliant read.
I know exactly. I thought exactly the same. I mean, I texted him on the morning when I was going down to enjoy his canapes and his Pims down at Wellington Barracks. Yeah, I texted him. I said, I think he's fantastic. And I said I'm on page 90 already.
Did you get it beforehand?
Yeah, no. I'll tell you what happened.
It got released, didn't it? Before it got released too early.
It was on Amazon, wasn't it? So 12 o'clock. If you pre-order it on Amazon, it drops in. So I think I was up at 2 o'clock. Right, yeah. I was reading it because I was looking forward to obviously going down and seeing the lads and everything. But I just, like you said, I couldn't put it down. I couldn't. I thought it was a really fantastic written book. Like you say, little things that maybe you think but that's down to perception. It's not because Adam's wrong, it's because it's perception.
Absolutely.
And if you were to write a book from a sniper's point of view, it would be totally different to anything I'd write as a mortarman and anything. And Adam was
plus
in command,
it was 10 years before, mate.
Yeah.
10 years ago. I mean, even that, like that, as an example, when you're in a high pressure situation, high stress situations, you just remember shit wrong. When we came out of there, we went back to Kabul. I don't know if you remember this. So obviously you're on about Violet. Jared and I went and found Max and Paul. And then when we got to Kabul on the way out, we finally got that fucking place. We were in Kabul for however long we were there for.
Yeah.
The military police came down. Remember?
Yeah.
The military police
worried that we were going to go into the bar and.
Yeah. No. They came down and they were doing the preliminary investigation into the deaths.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah.
So we've been out, a couple of days, and we sat there. And I remember, so they spoke to me, they spoke to Jared, they spoke to the medics, they spoke to a couple of others about to talk through like what happened when, So for Jared and I said, well, when you hit the roof, when you got there, what did you find? What did you do?
Yeah.
What was the sequence of events? And we did that. It had only been a couple of weeks before, and we finished that. They fucked off, and I sat with Jared, and I sat with Frenchie the medic and Robbo the medic, and we sat there and said, "What are they asking?" Because there's nothing shady about it. So said, spoke through it. I said, yeah. And we started talking about that day, or that contact, and I had remembered it completely different to them. The sequence of events completely differently. So, for example, I got on the roof. We'd found Jared and I got on the roof. We found Draver there, breathing his last breaths.
Yeah.
And then, and while we were treating him, then we saw Paul, and then the medics came up. That's not what happened. It's not what happened. It was a different sequence, but I was adamant in my head. I was adamant. The other three remembered it completely differently.
Yeah.
It wasn't me trying to twist things. It's just that your brain remembers things completely differently. So for Adam's book, my God, to remember it 10 years before, but it's 7 years, it is superb. No, people listening, go buy the fucking book.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's good, mate. How are you going tonight? What was it like coming back for you?
I think when I got back, I got nominated by the battalion to go and work with the Army History Museum in Chelsea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was good. It's good, to be honest, but I think I probably could have done with stepping away from it a little bit, and not got
it being
the old MQ thing. Because you just said that when it finished, you sort of moved on to the next thing, didn't you? And my posting at the time was horrendous. We were stuck in Inverness, Fort George.
Yeah.
And he was such a bad post.
Didn't they take you on the mountains for decompression? And you go hill walking or something. Am I getting this right?
No, decompression, we went with you for Cyprus.
No, but I heard that when you guys got back, you weren't allowed to go on leave for another week. You had to go hill walking with the battalion or your unit for a week and then go on.
No, we did, Actually, we went to we went down to that skiing resort, didn't we? Just down there. Yeah. So that was great. Yeah, but you honestly, you couldn't have got a worse post. It was 15 quid in a taxi to the nearest town to have a beer to Inverness, and that wasn't very good either. So when them little times where I used to go off down to London to they used to fly me down to London to work with people setting up. There was a big, I don't know if you went to the exhibition down there. It was dedicated to the 2006 tour, and there were people from Free Para working on it as well. There's PF there.
Really?
Yeah, there's Pathfinders, and I think there's an element of everybody who was there. There was Gurkhas, and we made this exhibition basically that people would walk around and obviously have a look and everything about what happened in 2006. But when I was doing that, I think it was all right. But when I was back in Inverness, there was too much time to think, and there was no operational tours on the horizon either. And I'd been constantly busy from 2003. In and out of Iraq. I did a cop platoon tour, a couple of tours of Iraq. Then obviously I bounced from the Iraq one in March straight into MQ, and it wasn't for me. Sitting around doing nothing. And I ended eventually. I was out. I left. So under some circumstances, but
it's a weird one to come back from. Because again, it sort of goes back to no one really understood what had gone on, what was going on. Even when I came back, on R&R, I chose the first R&R on that tour. I chose it, which meant I had 5 months to push out. But I came back on that R&R. Yeah, I fucking hated it, mate. I remember sitting there in a bar. I'm a very logical person. I'm black and white. Black is black, white is fucking white. And I remember sitting. I got off the plane, Brighton plane too, and I got a train to London. And I met up with a lady friend in London. And we were sat in a bar on the Thames, and the first contact had just happened in Afghanistan with A company. Yeah, I hadn't been a part of it, but I came back and sat on leave, and fuck me, my brain was doing backflips. Yeah. I wanted to fucking kill everyone. I don't mean that literally. I fucking hated everyone. I sat there on the South Bank looking at people walking past. I remember clearly what I was thinking.
I know where you're going with this, because I was exactly the same.
With their shopping bags and enjoying themselves as tourists, and I hate them. Yeah. I couldn't stand how it was how dare you go about your normal lives? How fucking dare you? Do you realise what's going on? How fucking dare you? There's my mates are out there now, there's shit going on. You just fucking cracking on. That's what was going on. Yeah. At the same time, I'm saying you like I'm a logical person. The conflict was you shouldn't be thinking like this. Yeah. It was just what the why? So I had that. My head was a fucking mess. Yeah. Remember the lady I was with fucking shook my arm because the waiter there talking to me, asked me 3 or 4 times what beer I wanted. I fucking hadn't even hear him. I was in my own head. I hated it. I just wanted to go, but get me on a plane, get me back out there. I shouldn't be here. I should be helping the guys.
It was either one or the other, isn't it? It's either that world or it's either stay in that world forever, or I know where you're coming from.
That was it, and you go back out and everything's right as rain again, and then you all come back at the end of it, and you go, whoa.
That never happened.
Well, no, it's not. No, I mean, you
No, I
all
mean,
come back after a tour, and you think, fucking hell.
No, but for us, it was that that
I
never
know
happened.
never happened.
That never happened, and then you
No,
get there's nothing in the
Yeah,
newspapers that you're trying to explain to people what's
Yeah.
happening. Well, where do you start with it all? But yeah,
it's it's that lack of. I've spoken about it before. It's like after the first tour, regardless of where you were in that first tour, whether you're in Bastion, whether you're in Lashkar, whether you're in Kandahar, whether you're a fucking logistics guy, whether you're RAF, whether you're Navy, or whether you're on the ground. I think for the majority of people, a help in, I'll say rehabilitating. I'll use that word, rehabilitating back into the UK life when you're still in. So coming back from a tour like that, any Afghan tour, back in, a big part of that is how you cope with it, and everyone's different, right?
Yeah.
It depends on how you received, and I didn't have that issue after the second tour. Didn't have issue after the third tour. The first tour, it was like you're saying, you come back, no one knew what was going on really.
Yeah.
There was no like Freedom of City parades. There was no fucking. It was no recognition, if you like.
Yeah.
Now that's not to say that I wanted recognition. Oh, well done, Hugh. You're fucking amazing. No, didn't want that.
No.
But the fact that it wasn't there meant that it magnifies that you don't understand what the fuck I've gone through.
Yeah.
No one understand, and this is subconscious though. You don't understand what the fuck I've done. I don't want to talk to people. I don't want to fucking talk to people. What was he like out there? Fuck off.
Yeah.
What was it like? And you want to throttle them.
Yeah.
How would you answer it?
No,
how would you answer the question? Even now I struggle with that. My answer is, it was interesting. What was it like? Did you enjoy it? It was interesting. I enjoyed some elements. I hated others.
But I mean, in a lot of ways, I mean, I was lucky. When I left, I got one of my friends got me into a job straight away, and he looked after me. A company called a guy called Anthony O'Brien.
LOL.
Insulation Contracting Services.
They were called LOL.
ICS, they're called.
Oh, I thought you said LOL.
No, and he got me working, and I think that's half the battle, isn't it? When you got something to concentrate on, and you got your mates looking after you, it's easier to get back into it. But I suppose I can imagine, people who leave and they're looking for work, and it's not good, is it? It's not good.
It's difficult. People,
we
go over. I mean,
there's a lot of pressure on there, But I was lucky, so.
It's good to go. Was he ex-military then? Like that?
No, he's a good friend. No, I think he spotted that I needed a bit of a hand and help me out. So
it's like you're staying occupied, I suppose.
Yeah, that's it.
And then you let you. Well, you say, I mean, you say you mind wandering, struggle with it, but then again, I know people that fucking don't blink an eye at what went on.
No.
It's like, I didn't blink an eye at the time. You didn't blink an eye at the time. And then I know other people who are absolute fucking mess who've only done who only had a couple of contacts. I know people who would weren't even front line and have had issues. But
it's not. You can't
people have a car crash. People have a car crash. Civ pop of a car crash. I can't cope with it. Every brain's different. You know what I mean? It's like the PTSD thing I said the PTSD thing. PTSD is like, as it's linked to the military. The reality is, I was thinking about this earlier. I like doing a show because we talk about jobs, helping people not helping people, just talk stuff. We talk about a lot of time mental health comes up, and like the PTSD thing, the stuff we talk about, it doesn't just apply to the military. It's civ pop. It's anyone. It's it's all the same issues. It's what's caused it is different. And how you cope is different. What support you got for it. We, as an ex-military, I think, compared to be very, very, very lucky in what is available to us in terms of support in a lot of different ways, shape, and form, right? And the kind of community there is outside it. If you're part of it, like online on Facebook, the Warrior of RV Ops. The Warrior Ops.
Sam Benson's.
The amount of groups, they are fucking brilliant, right? Apart from last week when you realise that 5 people have fucking killed themselves. You see that?
Yeah, but
Jesus Christ. We're lucky in what's available to us.
Yeah.
What we are not lucky with is is that because of the organisation we were part of a military organisation, it is that we're not as we're not as accepting of that support as
Because,
we could or should be. We're not.
No.
It's because you've got to swallow your pride.
Yeah.
You do. You have to. I've said it before. I walked myself into Healthy Heroes last year. It was a fucking mess, mate. It was a fucking mess. The effort it took for me to do that, was huge. It's swallowing your pride. The fucking commander was in. I was in the fucking, sniper commander, 3 fucking tours in Afghan, 2 Iraq, a bunch, a couple of Ireland. I did well, and then you get to the point, and you're a fucking wreck. You got to swallow your pride because the alternative is you don't. What goes in? Spiral downhill. I'm lucky in that I've got the emotional awareness, the emotional intelligence. To have realised that and go, it's got this needs to fucking get solved now. Not everyone has that.
No.
I'm one of the lucky ones. You think the people who haven't got that awareness, or or just have got it harder. I by no means had it hard like last year. It was difficult, you know what I mean? But there are people fucking that were 10 times worse off of me. Some of them ain't you anymore. Some of them are you anymore. Just need to get hold of them and go,
come on,
fucking get onto it.
Yeah.
Again, it's that swallow your pride, accept the help. You're not invulnerable. You could have done 50 fucking tours of Afghan, survived every single one of them. You're not invulnerable because it affects everyone in different ways. Like saying we were sharp as a button out there, and sharp as a fucking button. 10 years down the line,
I think you're 100% right, Hugh, to be honest. But it's not so much the military thing, is it? It's reaching a particular low in your life where it comes on, isn't it? There's a trigger for it. If you lose your job, you've got no money. You've got it's all them other things, and then the demons come, don't they? So I think what Sam's doing is fantastic with the Warriors RV.
Who is it? Sam
Benson. His name is. He's
so do you know much about? Because
he was C Company Royal Irish.
Oh, was he? I didn't know that, mate.
Yeah,
I didn't know that. Right, go on.
He's a great guy. And he started it off, I think.
Is it more than just a Facebook group?
No, well, yeah. It was initially. He was just like a few hundred members, and I mean, he's got so many thousand now. But it's got people talking, and it's actually you don't have to go. People need help at the point when it's happening, not 3 months down the line, 3 weeks down the line, 2 weeks down the line, even a day down the line. So you've got guys who aren't not afraid of actually coming along and saying I'm feeling pretty crap at the moment, and they get in touch with people. So at the point at that point, if they if they can get through that point and someone's giving them help, chances are they'll be okay. Do you know what I mean? But it's sitting around when you're trying to get that help when you're out of the services. And somebody tells you, it's going to be a week to see someone. That week could be critical.
Underestimate.
So what Sam's done, he set up this thing, Warriors RV, where people can get, like I say, they can get help straight away. So it's fantastic.
It is good. I mean, I was in a world of fucking pain last Monday.
Yeah.
And I posted it now week last Monday, and I remember thinking at the time, I would not have what I posted in there, and I would if I didn't know that group, and I'm part of other groups to get. I would never have done that, never. And I was fucking sitting there, and not feeling great, should we say?
Yeah.
And I'd been a part of the group for a couple of weeks, and just looking at it and popping up. But because of the nature of what's in there, because the way he controls it and the way the people are in there, that meant I felt I could post in there, which I did, and my fucking week improved. Do you know what I mean? And it is great. It is great. I didn't realise he was in it. I didn't realise.
I didn't realise you were. This is where you was. To be honest, with going. I didn't know, to be honest. But
this is one of the reasons I started this.
Yeah.
Okay, this show, the fucking podcast, right?
Yeah.
One of the reasons is this to impart this kind of knowledge, okay, or this kind of talk, this discussion, and the other thing where you say you didn't know where I
where you
am
was.
or I've been, is that came to me. I realized that I realized that year before last when a good friend of mine, like the first guy I ever met in the military in depot next to the bed space, Peter Sullivan, first guy, my oldest military friend, killed himself. The last person I'd ever think would kill himself, ever think, and he fucking killed himself. And I hadn't spoken to him for a couple of years because he was on the circuit. I was on the circuit. He was living in Thailand.
Yeah.
And I made a couple of half-assed attempts to speak to him. I was going, Pete, and he wasn't the most talkative of people anyway, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not on social media, not prolific anyway. And then he fucking topped himself. And I thought, you just don't. You've got no idea. You've got no idea where people are. The strongest people you have ever met can be fucking crumbling on the inside. Yeah. Absolutely. And you will never know. And the only way you can try and keep tabs in it or get an inkling of where people are or try and help with it is phone call, meet up, message. Just comms.
It's just one.
Comms. You've got it. You've got it. And you can't expect them to come to you.
No.
I will not. Like a couple of good friends and after the fact, they'd be like, why the fuck didn't you ring me?
Yeah.
Because the last thing I want to do when I'm feeling hideous, I don't want to speak to anyone. Do you think when I go, oh, I'm fucking feeling shit? Again, because sort of goes that pride thing, sort of goes, I don't want to speak, I don't want to engage with anyone. Everyone go fuck themselves. That's what it's like. Go fuck yourselves. Which means you just spiral down further. You don't want to engage with anyone. But if someone reaches out, you get a phone call.
Yeah.
You maybe
initiated it.
Exactly. Yeah. You've just got to keep in touch with people.
I mean, Sam does that. He posts on every now and again. You know, contact 10 of your oppos, make sure they're okay.
Yeah.
To let them know that you've got, you got the 6.
It's ingrained in me now to drop a message, and if I don't get a reply, pick up the phone call.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a guy, right, who is he's world famous. I'll say he's definitely world famous. It's not an A-lister, he's B-lister in terms of world fame. He's almost a household name in the British Army, I'd say. Yes, I would say that's a fair comment. Certainly the world of fitness. And I spoke to this guy about a month ago to get him on the show.
Yeah.
I didn't know him before. Like, fucking hell. Turns out he's local. Speak on the phone. He didn't sound good at all. Did not sound good at all. And then he rang me back, and he was in the world of fucking hurt. And I was thinking, holy fuck, man.
Yeah.
You no way. Not you. No, not you. You can't be in a world of pain. You know what I mean? And he's old and bold, and he's this fucking strong, mate, animal. And he was in the world of fucking pain. And he went from me trying to get the podcast to me, then, well, fuck the podcast. Just touch base. Are you all right?
Okay.
Blah, 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 blah. And I'm lucky because he's engaging back. It takes him 2 or 3 days to get back to me, but I still hear from him. And now he's right. But at the time, I was thinking, again, it was that you got no idea. No idea. Happening. You've got to keep in touch with people. And you know, that's just...
So, what about the next Musa Qaleh reunion then? Do you remember the last one?
What was that? As a book launch?
Stratford. Oh no, was it the book launch? Don't you remember the? We was together.
Was it Stratford? That was it.
That's just round the corner. Yeah.
Was it there? I thought I recognised some places there.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Phone lost. Was it lost your phone?
Phone.
Strip club.
Car keys. No, it was strip club. Phone, car keys.
The Cat's bar.
We were buying the whole bar shots.
Yeah.
That was a good time. I don't know where the next one is.
Singing with Freddie in the back of the black cab.
Don't remember that. No, mate, that was a good time. And, mate, we're gonna have to wrap this up. Flipping out. We're going for an hour and what are we going for? Hour and a half. Anything you want to mention?
No, thanks for having me on. That's it,
mate. Absolutely. You're so close. Let's have to get you on again.
Yeah.
And have a beer. I'm going to mention is No Way Out. Adam's book.
Yeah.
The documentary we're referring to is Helmand. Who is Helmand? Channel 4. What's the Channel 4 app? What is it?
More 4? Is it More 4? I think it's on the iPad.
And that's it. Danny Groves, thank you very much, but I really appreciate it.
No worries. Thanks.
Nice one. Ooh, live feed. I always forget to end stream. they're on.